What truly defines the greatness of a basketball game? For many, it's the intensity of the plays, the last-second shots, or the performances of legendary players. But for those who live and breathe the NBA, a great game goes far beyond the numbers. It's about the story that unfolds within the four lines, the personal battles that arise, the rivalries that explode, and, of course, the moments of overcoming adversity that become part of the collective memory. And, without a doubt, the night when the Los Angeles Lakers faced the Dallas Mavericks was one of those games that will go down in history, not only for the result itself, but for the narrative that unfolded every second on the court. First of all, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Lakers News Fan Report, the channel where you find detailed analysis of every move made by the most iconic team in the NBA. Stay updated with the most important news, the best plays, and the behind-the-scenes action of the team that always moves us. No matter what stage of the season, the game, which took place on a Tuesday night at the Crypto.com Arena, was far more than just a regular basketball game. For Lakers fans, the matchup against the Dallas Mavericks represented a true battleground, not only between two great teams but also between players connected by past stories, roster changes, and personal rivalries that added an extra layer of tension and excitement to the game. The presence of Dončić, the former Mavericks player facing his old team for the first time, was undoubtedly the main attraction. But the game went beyond a simple return of a player to his former home. It carried the weight of significant roster decisions, and the tension was palpable. Something that only true basketball enthusiasts can feel. When the ball was thrown up to start the game, an explosion of energy filled the arena. The crowd was hyped, expectations were high, and the atmosphere was tense. But what truly defined the game was the mix of old rivalries and the burning desire of each team to prove its worth. For the Mavericks, there was the responsibility of facing a former idol, someone who had been the key to many important victories in the franchise's history. For the Lakers, there was the mission not only to win, but to deliver a clear statement about their future and real ambitions for the season. It wasn't just another game in the regular season. It was a game that, without a doubt, would have lasting repercussions. From the start, Dončić showed signs of his determination to shine that night. As always, he entered the court with the confidence of a true star, making it clear that, despite the trade, he was still the same exceptional player that Dallas fans had adored. Within minutes, Dončić was dominating the game, with an almost supernatural ability to read the game and make perfectly planned passes. He quickly established a rhythm that seemed impossible to break. He wasn't just trying to score points. He was orchestrating the game, controlling the tempo, and creating plays that threw the Lakers off balance. With every dribble, every pass, every shot, Dončić seemed to take control, setting the tone for what would be a memorable night. But as always, the Lakers had the great presence of LeBron James, a living NBA legend and a player who knows how to respond under great pressure. Although LeBron didn't start the game as impactfully as usual, his presence was always felt. His game was a bit out of sync in the beginning, and he seemed to be struggling to find his rhythm. With 5 turnovers and a shooting performance below average, many could have thought that the 40-year-old star was going through a rough patch. But that was never a reason to underestimate him. However, it soon became clear that the Lakers needed more. While Dončić continued his exhibition of brilliance, other players began to stand out, especially Austin Reaves, who didn't let the pressure affect his performance. Reaves continued to attack and produce for the Lakers, with 14 points in the second quarter, keeping the Lakers ahead. This was crucial, as the team's defense was showing vulnerabilities. The absence of Anthony Davis, an elite defender, was clearly felt, and the Mavericks didn't forgive. Every defensive lapse from the Lakers was quickly capitalized on by Dallas, and the Los Angeles team saw their lead slowly slip away. As the game became more balanced, things grew even more tense during the third quarter. The Lakers, who had shown strong performance in the first 2 periods, seemed to lose control. The team was missing passes, struggling to adjust their offensive game, and the defense was far below expectations. Dallas, taking advantage of the momentary weakness, attacked relentlessly, bringing the game closer, with Kyrie Irving shining alongside Dončić. Irving, with his long-range shooting ability, seemed unstoppable, and every shot that went in made the Crypto.com Arena grow more and more tense. The third quarter was a nightmare for the Lakers. A team that seemed so dominant at the start of the game now found itself on the ropes. Without Davis to protect the paint, the Lakers' defense couldn't handle Dallas' firepower. Irving's quick plays and Dončić's court vision were leaving the Lakers in a tough spot, and it seemed like the Los Angeles team was drifting further away from victory. The pressure was at its peak. Every possession was crucial, and the tension only grew as the game wore on. But just when everything seemed lost, something incredible happened. The Lakers began to unite around an unrelenting leader, the one who had always been the key to their most important victories, LeBron James. It was at the start of the fourth quarter that LeBron, who had been below his usual level, made a stunning comeback. He began to take control of the game decisively. It was as if LeBron had activated a championship mode within himself. He returned to dominating the court, taking charge of the offensive plays, and attacking the basket with an uncommon determination for someone his age. His rhythm and control of the game completely changed the dynamic of the match. Even though he wasn't playing at his best, he knew when it was time to step up, and that's exactly what he did. With a series of key points, rebounds, and assists, LeBron began to guide his team toward victory, with his experience proving crucial to the Lakers' success. The energy from the crowd intensified, and with every move from LeBron, the Lakers seemed closer to regaining control of the game. Throughout the fourth quarter, the Lakers, revitalized by LeBron's presence and the energy from the crowd, managed to maintain their lead. Dončić was still doing everything he could to keep the Mavericks competitive, but the control LeBron had over the game proved to be decisive. The confidence LeBron transmitted to the team was evident, and the Lakers ultimately overcame the adversity to close the game with a 107-99 victory. LeBron, with 27 points, 12 rebounds, and multiple assists, was once again the soul of the team, and his leadership was crucial for the success. Dončić, despite registering an impressive triple-double, wasn't enough to carry Dallas to victory. That night was a true display of what it means to be a leader and what makes the difference in high-pressure moments. The Lakers' victory wasn't just about the numbers. It was about resilience. The team showed that, even without Anthony Davis, even with struggles at critical moments, they have a leader at their core, who can lift everyone when the pressure is on. And with that, the Lakers once again demonstrated that when LeBron James is on the court, the story is far from over. The Lakers certainly have a team of stars, but it's LeBron's leadership that keeps them alive in the fight for the title. And this victory against the Mavericks, with all its emotional and historical weight, was a true demonstration of mental strength and team spirit. The team's morale was lifted, and the Lakers' confidence was restored. The season was still ongoing, but this game would undoubtedly be remembered as a pivotal moment for the team. The showdown between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks wasn't just a battle between two NBA giants, but also a game full of meaning for both franchises. For the Mavericks, it was a chance to reaffirm their strength as a competitive team, especially after the arrival of Kyrie Irving, who added a new layer to the team. For the Lakers, it was an opportunity to show that, even without Anthony Davis, they still had what it took to compete at the highest level. The anticipation was immense, and the Crypto.com arena was buzzing with energy, reflecting the importance of the matchup. One of the most intriguing aspects of this matchup was the strategic battle between the coaching staffs. The Lakers' Darvin Ham faced a tough challenge with the absence of Anthony Davis, who typically anchors their defense and dominates the paint. The Mavericks, under Jason Kidd, were no strangers to using versatile lineups, especially with Luka Dončić at the helm. The Lakers' defensive strategy shifted to accommodate their new rotation, relying more on switching schemes to keep up with the Mavericks' quick pace and three-point shooting. Despite the early struggles, Ham's ability to make in-game adjustments became crucial as the game progressed. Every great game in the NBA is made memorable by the moments that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. In this game, one could feel the electricity build as the first quarter progressed. Dončić's brilliance was undeniable, but the Lakers were no strangers to adversity, and they showed an uncanny ability to adapt and find their rhythm. This was a game that would test the mental fortitude of both teams and ultimately highlight the value of resilience in the face of adversity. While Dončić's performance commanded attention, the undercurrent of the night was the unspoken rivalry between the two franchises. The Lakers, a historic franchise laden with pressure to win championships, were desperate to prove that they still had championship aspirations. Meanwhile, the Mavericks, replete with their own storied history, were eager to show that they had the pieces necessary to dethrone the West's elite teams. The stakes were high, and the intensity on the floor reflected that. As the game unfolded, it became evident that LeBron James was once again tasked with the monumental responsibility of guiding his team through difficult stretches. At 40 years old, his experience and leadership were invaluable. But even more than that, it was his ability to rise to the occasion when the game's momentum shifted that marked his continued greatness. The Lakers had long depended on his ability to take over in crunch time, and this game was no exception. A key theme that emerged from the game was the dynamic nature of the NBA season. It's often said that championships are won, not just by talent, but by the teams that can adjust and evolve throughout the year. In the absence of Anthony Davis, the Lakers were forced to innovate and lean on players who might not have had the same stage to shine on before. That's what made the game so intriguing. Not only did the players have to rise to the occasion, but the team's ability to adapt in real time was put to the test. Luka Dončić's performance was one for the ages. As a player who's been hyped for years, Dončić delivered on that promise, playing with the poise of a seasoned veteran despite his youth. His court awareness and ability to find teammates in transition or on the move were unparalleled, making it difficult for the Lakers to gain any traction. However, despite his brilliance, it was clear that the Mavericks were more than a one-man team. In the final moments, the lack of contributions from others on Dallas's roster became glaring. In contrast, the Lakers, though struggling early on, displayed an uncanny ability to rely on their depth. The game wasn't just about LeBron or any one player, it was about the collective spirit of the team. The Lakers' second unit stepped up in crucial moments, contributing points and defensive stops when the Mavericks threatened to overtake them. This depth, something often overlooked, became an important factor in securing the win. One could argue that the pivotal point of the game came when LeBron James began to dominate the fourth quarter. With his legacy as one of the best players in NBA history, LeBron knew what the team needed in that moment. He knew that the game was on the line, and he responded. His ability to command the floor, both offensively and defensively, was the kind of leadership that made this victory feel like a statement. The Lakers were not going down without a fight. As much as the game was about individual brilliance, it was also about the collective fight for survival. The Mavericks, despite their challenges, weren't going to give up without a fight. With each Mavericks surge, the game became more intense, and every possession seemed to carry the weight of the season. What stood out, however, was how the Lakers never faltered. They leaned on their championship pedigree, the experience of LeBron James, and the heart of their team to weather the storm. The presence of Kyrie Irving was another key subplot. His acquisition had been one of the more talked-about moves in the NBA, and this game presented a unique opportunity for him to showcase his talents alongside Dončić. Irving's ability to stretch the floor and his knack for hitting clutch shots brought an added dimension to the Mavericks' offense. Yet, despite his best efforts, the Mavericks couldn't quite overcome the Lakers' resilience and leadership. The first half of the game was a showcase of offensive firepower from both teams. The Lakers were finding ways to score despite a lackluster defensive effort, and the Mavericks' offense was running smoothly, with Dončić orchestrating everything. But as the game wore on, it became clear that this was no longer just a battle of shooting. This was a battle of wills, of mental toughness, and of the ability to execute in the most high-pressure moments. The significance of LeBron James's leadership became even clearer in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. He was everywhere on both ends of the floor, guiding his teammates, making the necessary adjustments, and showing that his leadership was invaluable. It wasn't just about scoring points, it was about making plays that kept the Lakers ahead when every possession felt more critical than the last. While the Mavericks showed flashes of brilliance, it was the Lakers' ability to respond to adversity that made the difference. The absence of Anthony Davis loomed large, but the team showed that their success wasn't solely dependent on one player. By leaning on their depth and resilience, the Lakers proved that they could overcome obstacles and still emerge victorious, no matter the circumstances. The emotional roller coaster that this game provided was a testament to the unpredictability of the NBA. No one could have predicted how the game would unfold, but that's what makes the sport so captivating. Fans were on the edge of their seats, constantly guessing what would happen next. As the momentum swung back and forth throughout the night, as the final buzzer sounded, it was clear that this was more than just a regular season win for the Lakers. This victory, powered by LeBron James's leadership and the team's resilience, was a statement to the rest of the league. The Lakers were still a force to be reckoned with. They may have had their struggles, but as long as LeBron was on the court, they were never out of contention.